All right, today we are pulling back the curtain on the business world to look at the powerful and often hidden system that makes everything tick. We're talking about operations management, what I like to call the true engine room that powers every single company out there.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? How does a product, any product, actually get made and end up on a shelf? Or how does a bank, approve a home loan? It's not magic, right? It's all about a process, a system. And understanding that system, well, that's what we're digging into today.
Okay, so let's get a clear definition on the table. At its very heart, operations management, or OM for short, is basically the science of transformation. It's all about taking a bunch of different resources and strategically turning them into something valuable, whether that's a physical product you can hold or a service that helps you out.
And the cool thing is, the framework for understanding all of this is brilliantly simple. It really boils down to 3 steps. You start with your inputs, that's all your resources. Then you put them through a transformation process where you add value. And finally, you get your outputs, the finished goods or services. We're going to use this exact lens to look at 2 very, very different businesses.
First up, let's take a look inside a classic manufacturing operation, Yakult. You've probably seen those little probiotic drinks, right? Well, we're going to break down exactly how they're made using our inputs, transformation, and outputs model.
So here's a quick snapshot to set the scene. Yakult Australia is based down in Victoria. They've got about 150 employees, and their entire operation is laser-focused on producing that one very specific fermented milk drink. It's a perfect, self-contained example of what manufacturing is all about.
Now, what are their inputs? Well, you've got the obvious stuff, the tangible materials like skim milk powder and sugar. But look closer. The inputs also include the machinery on the production lines, the factory employees who run everything, and, this is really crucial, intangible things like information. The quality standards and production schedules are just as important as the milk powder.
And this is where the magic happens, the transformation. It's a step-by-step process. First, the ingredients are combined and sterilized. Then comes the most critical step, fermentation, where that live bacteria culture does its work. And here's a really cool part. They actually make their iconic little bottles right there on site before filling, capping, and packaging them up. Every single step is designed to add value.
And after all that, the output is simple, clear, and tangible. It's a physical product. You can hold it in your hand, you can see it, you can drink it. This is the classic result of a manufacturing operation, a tangible good.
Okay, now let's completely switch gears. We're going to see how this same framework applies to a totally different kind of business, a major bank like Commonwealth Bank. This is a service provider. There are no vats of milk here. So, you might be wondering, how in the world does our inputs, process, output model even apply? First off, just wrap your head around the scale here. We're not talking about 150 employees. We're talking about tens of thousands and billions in revenue. Unlike Yakult's single, focused product, CBA offers a massive range of financial services. It's a completely different beast altogether.
So what are the inputs for a bank? Well, sure, they have physical resources like buildings and computers, and of course, lots of people. But here's the absolute game changer. Their most crucial raw material is something you can't even touch. It's information. Your personal details, your financial situation, your goals. That data is the primary input for a service business like bank.
So the transformation process looks completely different too. It's not physical, it's all informational. It involves analyzing customer data, using really complex financial models to assess risk, actually talking with a customer to find the right solution, and then processing transactions securely. It's a process of analysis, judgment, and problem solving.
And that means the output isn't something you can put in your fridge. The output is intangible. It's a problem solved. It's an approved home loan. It's financial advice that gives you peace of mind. It's a successfully completed transaction. It's the value that's been delivered to meet a very specific need.
So this is really the aha moment. When you put them side by side like this, the difference is crystal clear. Manufacturing, like Yakult, uses mostly tangible inputs to create tangible outputs through a physical change. Services, like CBA, use mostly intangible inputs, like information, to create intangible outputs through an informational change. It's the exact same framework, just a totally different application.
Okay, so whether you're making a drink or providing a loan, the goal is always the same. You want to do it well. And to make that happen, operations managers have this whole toolkit of strategies designed to make their processes more efficient and more effective. And this toolkit is absolutely packed.
We're talking about using technology and automation to speed things up, managing materials and inventory super smartly so nothing goes to waste, and of course, maintaining incredibly high standards for quality. It's all about making every single step in the process as lean and effective as it can possibly be.
Let's just pull out one specific tool to see how powerful this is: just-in-time, or JIT. Think of it this way. Instead of having a huge warehouse overflowing with supplies, JIT is like having your groceries delivered to your door exactly when you're ready to start cooking. Materials arrive right when they're needed for production, which slashes storage costs and dramatically reduces waste.
And what does peak operational efficiency look like in the real world? Well, get this. The Mars chocolate factory down in Ballarat can crank out 1 million Mars bars in a single 8-hour shift. That mind-blowing number is no accident. It's the direct result of a highly tuned, automated, and incredibly efficient operations system.
And really, when you boil it all down, it comes back to this one central goal. You want to maximize efficiency, which means using your resources wisely, and maximize effectiveness, which means actually hitting your targets. You get that combination right, and you create real value for your customers and for the business itself.
Now, this is the fun part. Because once you have this framework, this operations lens, you'll start seeing it absolutely everywhere. So let's try it out.
Seriously, think about it right now. What are the inputs? Well, there's the coffee beans, milk, water, the building itself, the barista's skill, and your order, which is information. And the process? Grinding the beans, steaming the milk, taking your payment. And the output? It's a tangible good, your coffee. But it's also an intangible service, that pleasant, quick experience. And this works for everything. A package delivery company? The input is your package and an address. The process is a massive logistical network. The output is the package arriving at the right door. Your local council? It takes in your taxes and community needs and outputs services like waste collection and park maintenance. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. This operations lens, it doesn't just show you how things get made. It starts to show you why some businesses thrive while others fail. The most successful companies in the world aren't just the ones with the best ideas. They're the ones who have mastered their engine room. They've turned their transformation process into a real competitive weapon. So the real question isn't just what will you see differently, but where will you see that hidden advantage that truly sets a business apart from the rest?